We call this day Reformation Sunday or All Hallows Eve. That word hallow means holy or holy person. It means saint, All Saints Eve. We don't use the word hallow much anymore except for when we say Halloween or the Lord's Prayer. Hallowed be your name. Holy be your name. Set apart be your name. Yahweh is hallowed. Christ is hallower. Christ is hallower of the hallows. He is the Holy One of the holy ones. He is the preeminent hallows of hallows. In the late Middle Ages, the church had hid Christ under a pantheon of saints and intermediaries. The Roman church generally still inclines toward obscuring Christ this way. And as we've already said, the Protestant and evangelical church has done something similar. They obscure Christ in their covenant breaking. They hide Christ away from their children by breaking their marriage covenant and destroying families and bringing on the covenantal curses that God has promised. And they also do this in other ways. They hide Christ from their children. They introduce all these intermediaries. They're generally different. They're not priests. It's more like intellectual doctrine type things by withholding Christ, denying Christ to them in baptism, and denying Christ to them in the Lord's Supper. Just as the laity of the late Middle Ages were denied the Lord's Supper, Protestant and evangelicals act like mumbling priests who eat and drink while others go hungry. And those others are their own children. And for that, they are just like Rome, and perhaps even worse. But we are living in a time where there exist nascent rumblings of Reformation once again, where we refuse to put those intermediaries between the hallower and the hallows, between God and these little ones, between the little saints and the preeminent saint. The evangelical and Protestant world wants to separate these little ones from Christ, but the glory of the Reformation was that it brought little ones to Christ. In the Reformation, our fathers confessed and fought and died, insisting that Jesus alone was the Hallower of Hallows, and that the hallows ought to have direct access to him. And the Spirit is once again convicting a remnant that Christ is preeminent over all things and accessible not just to some saints, not just to some who are smart enough, but to all saints. So come and welcome to Jesus Christ.